All right, hi, it is Pick Central, our daily gambling show here on Barstool Sports, or as dubbed today by one of our guests, it is No Talent Central, as all the talented people are away in West Virginia getting ready for Rough and Rowdy 14, where the former Hornswoggle Dylan Postel will be in the main event tonight to electrify crowds. But as much as the fights are going to be great, and Shizat the Rizat is fighting, that means there's probably going to be a knockout, a spectacular knockout. As great as that's going to be, the anus-involved ring girl contest will be something the hell else. I don't know what those guys have planned. I don't know what's going to go on.
Dude, they got the weirdest brains, those two.
They have.
So wacky.
It's wacky, yes.
I'm always scared of them. Like, I never know what they're going to do.
I can never tell if, like, they're doing a bit.
I think you guys are doing a bit right now. And, Owen, why aren't you with Anus? You're a part of Anus.
He has many hats here.
You're anal?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, didn't make it. All right, okay. You getting settled there?
Yeah.
There you go. Getting settled? Okay, so it's
Little
me and FDR.
look.
Yeah, yeah. All right. I didn't want to make it. I didn't want to say it.
Yes, thank you very much.
I wasn't going to make
it. I appreciate that.
Or Mr. Potter from It's a Wonderful Life. Oh, Mr. Potter.
Yeah. One of those classic movies I've never seen. It's a Wonderful Life.
What?
So I'm aware culturally
That's
of
surprising.
it. It's one of those movies where you can know like scenes from it and lines from it without even actually having to see it. Like Casablanca's one and Wizard of Oz one, although I've seen Wizard of Oz. But certain old movies that are in the zeitgeist that I've never actually seen, but I'm aware of.
There's a bit of existential dread that comes with watching it.
Owen's here too. Owen is here. There's existential dread in watching It's a Wonderful Life?
Mm-hmm.
Really? I thought it was a happy ending, a happy movie.
Yeah. I mean, you haven't seen it. I don't really want to, like...
Well, you're not going to spoil it. I'm not going to watch it.
It's surprising.
Also, this is a conversation I'd like to have very quickly with you. I have a very odd look on spoilers. I think I am one of the maybe 3% of people in America who have the belief I have on spoilers. I don't care. I don't care about spoilers. You can tell me what happens in a movie. You can tell me what happens in a book. You can tell me what happens in a TV show. I actually like knowing. I think we overreact to spoilers in this country.
You like knowing ahead of time.
I like knowing ahead of time. Okay. Here's something weird I do, and I know you can't read, but I will read a book. Mm-hmm. I will start reading a book, and I'll go 100 pages in, maybe 75 pages in, and I'll get the characters. I'll know where everything's doing. I'll go read the last 5 pages of the book just to see where the characters are going, and I will read the end before I read the middle. That's weird, I know.
That is strange.
That is a very strange habit. How about you? Spoilers? You care about spoilers?
No, I don't care too much. There's a few movies that I think are like meaningless if you know the ending.
Well, The Sixth Sense, sure.
Sixth Sense, like Fight Club, stuff like that. But like the average movie, I don't mind.
Okay, I don't mind either. What about you? Are you really dead set against them?
No, I mean, if I get spoiled for something crazy, like I'd be kind of bummed out.
Yeah.
Like if someone would have leaked the clip of like Avengers Endgame to me.
So if you had seen the tweet from the guy who tweeted out R.I.P. Tony Stark.
Yeah, that would have sucked.
If you had seen that, you would.
Even that maybe like I kind of knew he was gonna die. Like if you followed it, you're like he's.
Usual Suspects. I've never watched it. I know the limp is.
You
fake.
know, there's
That hurts your ability to watch them.
I have no interest.
Still really good though.
I've watched him walk away on the last scene on YouTube, but I have no interest in watching the movie. I'm the same way.
Same.
You've never seen it?
I've never seen it. No.
That's weird. You've seen that's interesting. Okay.
I've seen over 240 films.
Okay.
I know everything about film.
How many movies have you seen, Jeff?
Thousands.
How many movies do you think you've actually seen? I would say
How many do I retain is the better question.
I would probably say I've seen
Hundreds.
between
dozens.
700 and 1,000. I don't know how I would even guess.
Thousands of movies.
I've
watched, and like the more we've done this website, I've watched more movies in the last year than I've watched maybe my life combined.
But you watch every movie.
Yeah.
That comes out, right?
Yeah, but that was since like 2008, I think, or 9. I started doing that. But now I've gone back, and I've seen a lot of movies before that. But there are a lot of old ones. Like
You watched so.
I must have watched in the last 2 weeks like 20 of the DC animated movies I've never just endlessly watching while I work, like at home at night. I also don't sleep very much, so
yeah, you respond at like
stream.
3 or 4 in the morning, and I'll be like, "Why are you up?" And you're like, "Watching a fucking movie."
See, I don't know how you do that in the middle of the night. I don't know how you go without sleep and watch movies. That's something that I wouldn't be able to do. Somebody mentions in the chat, Shawshank is a movie that you can't you can't know the ending to, and that's true. You can't know the ending to Shawshank. That's one of those movies.
Why?
Well, it's the journey, it's the reveal, and it's the whole redemption. You feel the redemption when you watch it play out. That's the whole point of the movie.
Hard disagree.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty assumed that he's gonna make it out of there. I think.
Yeah, but the way he makes it out is really the story, though.
Yeah, I think you. Still
I guess
get
you
that.
could know that he makes it out, but okay, you could probably know, and you still be enveloped into the story. That would be fine. Yeah. And by the way, I don't care about spoiling these movies. That came out in 1994. If you
that's a different story. That's like a different thing.
I think you could know the ending.
When people say like spoiler alert on like an old show or some shit, like a show like if you were to be like if you told me what happened at the end of The West Wing and I'd be like, whoa, I've never seen it. I'd be like, all right, well,
that's your fault.
That's on you.
Yeah, you've had ample time to see it.
Now a show that maybe ended like a month ago, that's a different story.
Yeah, even Succession or something.
Yeah,
which has been what?
That's
6 months
bordering.
Or so? Yeah,
bordering. No, that's a year.
It's a year. It's been a year. No, it hasn't been a year.
Over a year
Since Succession ended.
Yes,
I think with social media, the window of
didn't
spoilers,
happen at all in 2020.
You should only get like.
Marvel put the
max.
fucking stamp down. Marvel kind of set or Disney did with Mandalorian and their Marvel shows. You get until the Monday after. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the Monday at 9 a.m. Like if there's a character revealed on the Friday episode of The Mandalorian, Monday at 9 a.m. they would tweet out the character.
I like
poster.
that.
I watched
That's
the
it.
entire series of Game of Thrones in 9 days, so to catch up for the last season. So I would feel a part of it on Twitter.
Was that worth it?
Mm-hmm.
You enjoyed the journey?
I did.
Did you enjoy the ending?
It was fine. It was rushed.
How I Met Your Mother. Watched it for 9 seasons. The ending made me wish I'd never seen the show in my life.
Yeah, people really hate the ending of that show.
I hate the ending.
I've
They
never
have the
watched
alternate
that show.
ending
Hey
on
kids,
YouTube.
that's How I Met Your Mother. Now I'm gonna go fuck your aunt.
You could watch the alternate ending on YouTube and pretend that's what it was.
No, it doesn't mean anything. I just know people, they don't like Harry Dubin or the fuck his name is. That's a guy from Real Housewives. What's his name? What's that fucker's name? The Josh Radnor character.
Ted Mosby?
Ted Mosby.
Yeah.
Everyone hates that guy.
You kind of remind me of Mosby.
You do
I don't
have
like
Mosby.
that. Everybody hates that guy.
Yeah.
That's a shitty comparison.
You got some Mosby to
You have a little bit of Mosby in
Everyone
you.
fucking hates that guy. Everybody hates him. He's always on a list of most hated character in a show.
Who's if he's our
Barney
Mosby,
Stinson.
who's our Barney Stinson? I don't think we have one at Barstool.
O'Day.
You think O'Day is Barney Stinson? Oh,
Well.
It's not terrible. Okay, all right.
Little Neil Patrick in him.
I wore O'Day shorts today, and they're not great.
You can't figure out if you want to have the legs covered or not.
I'm just doing it because I'm wearing the O'Day shorts, and they're just too short today to be on this staring people in the face at noon.
You should have sat over here. You should have sat with the table.
I may switch with Owen at some point.
Owen is here. Jeff is here on the yak. It'll be it'll be me.
You're stressed about the yak, I can tell.
I have
Stay for the act, Jeff.
I've been worried about the yak. I'm not
so
allowed.
much dozen shit to do.
I'm not allowed to bring anybody else in. I look phenomenal.
I
today,
could
by the way.
puke over this dozen tournament, by the way.
I
have
figured.
no idea how it's going to
We're
happen.
within 2 weeks. We're within a week and a half now, aren't we?
Everything is falling into place. We've got the preview. You weren't as impressed with the selection show mock as anyone
I was.
else?
No, I
Okay.
was. I just didn't gush over it on
People
text. I apologize.
People are going to be like, whoa.
No,
People are gonna be
it
this
looks-
this looks like legit.
It's a selection show.
And the set
Yeah.
is going to be legit. It all falls on me. I have no idea. This is the most daunting thing I've ever taken on. Don't know. No idea how I'm going to do it.
And you know that I have nothing but respect for you and a huge fan of the dozen and everything. But you know, a lot of when I don't text you, I am very sore about the rankings. I make no beef about that. I just am.
If you're the best, just beat everyone else.
That's
then.
I have a chance to beat everybody
You're
and
also
correct
the
it.
5 seed, and I think that's an incredibly fair seed for you guys.
I
think that's a very fair.
I think it worked out in the end. I think we worked our way back to being where we should have been.
You did.
I'm fine with the 5. But when we were at 7 behind 2-1 teams, it was crazy. That was wacky.
That's part of. That's a difficult thing with this league. It's like we were like, oh, get these the teams that don't have many wins out, but then it's like a 5-team league and. You kind of have you got to give a little bit here with this thing.
I guess so.
It'll be different next season. It'll be easier. You guys are still going to always have more matches because you go once a week.
Are all the teams going to change? Will there be changes? Will there be an off season? Can there be free agency? Can there be trades?
No, I will allow for that. But like I've had some people suggest, why don't we blow the teams up? Maybe eventually, but no, there will be an off season.
Because I know some teams that aren't happy with each other.
Yeah. Oh yeah. There's going to be I will allow for trades.
Jeff, have you thought of maybe a team of stoolies?
Offensive jab. Can you admit that you were the person that kiboshed Stoolies on the dozen?
Oh, absolutely.
It was you.
Yeah, if you need somebody to take that bullet, we did Stoolies on the dozen for the first probably 6 or 7 episodes.
And then we did our first one without Stoolies, and you're like, oh no, this is way better.
I realized it, and you realized it that the Barstool people were what really drove it. I mean,
yeah, and also I will laugh too, because the thing that cracks me up the most is the people who really hate on contestants of how like, oh, fucking idiot. I promise you.
Yeah.
And maybe we will. Like, I want to round up I will round up the 3 Stoolies, the 3 dozen fans, Barstool fans, whatever, who have talked the most shit about how much better they would be,
and just watch them
and then
smoke.
Watch them go under the lights and just shit their pants.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe 1 or 2 people might be good, but we saw that we did that with movie trivia this summer, and then we just started taking people in who shit talked.
Yeah.
And they would come on and they'd be deer in the headlights.
Yeah.
And it's different. It's just different when you're under the gun. It's not the same as watching on the street. I'm not saying it's rocket science. Some people may come in and dominate, but
how much of an off season will there be between the tournament and season 2? You gonna go all summer, or are you gonna go a month?
2 or 3 weeks.
Okay.
I'm not in New York. I'm doing something. I'm not even allowed to say what it is, and it's not even like my thing. Well, anyway, I can't.
That's fine. It's fine.
But I won't be here for a little while, so that kind of builds that in. I don't need like a break in vacation. I just want to sit back and like, how do we redo the format of the graphics? Like, people want everyone.
I still get to be in the planning meeting, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, all right,
people want like the videos bigger. They want to see faces more. So like, we got to go in. I'm going to redo some of the graphics and update some things. So it's not like I'm taking a vacation for 3 weeks, but need to just be like, all right, how do we improve the show for the next season? Which the next season is, because the next season was technically from, I guess it was from April 20th, 2020 up until now.
Yeah.
But the season thing didn't really start until way later on. We started naming teams and doing that. So need just a little break to reset.
So there are actually people in the chat. Brian DesRosiers says, I completely disagree. I would own the trivia. You really wouldn't.
No,
you really wouldn't.
I think some people would, but I think there are a lot of people who would talk shit, and they would come on in. They'd go under the gun of the dozen with the timer, and they would absolutely freeze up. People get made fun of all the time for saying, oh, it's because I was on the show. It happens to people. Like, I'm sorry.
My most famous dozen brain moment, and I don't get it a lot, was the Jason Kidd NBA Live, where I said Vince Carter, and I knew Vince Carter wasn't the answer, but I just couldn't get Jason Kidd to come out of my mouth.
To the credit of some people, there are folks who throw the, I knew that one, and I don't believe them. They're like, all right, you're just saying that to look
they
smarter.
do that every time.
But there are a lot of people who I truly believe they knew it, and I'm shocked they didn't know it.
I just keep, when I watch it, I keep score of what I knew and what I didn't. Like, I watched the Honkers the other day, and I was actually backstage watching that one, and I was marking down what I know, what I don't. I knew all of the sports, most of the sports ones. I didn't know any of the non-sports ones in that one. I didn't know any of them. The movies, the Lobster. I've never seen the Lobster.
I blew that match. That was the highest scoring match of all time. I didn't even make note of it live.
That's incredible.
27 to 28 points. The only thing they missed was Randy Foy.
I guess.
And Coley said, looking back on that, I should have known Randy Foy.
But wasn't our college basketball one higher scoring? You don't count that one as
no, because
we scored 20.
They didn't score shit.
That's true. They were terrible. I forgot.
They didn't score anything.
I forgot Rico and Marty, and they don't know anything about college basketball. That's my fault.
And that
was a crazy
the
setup.
College basketball and the NFL one I don't count as much because like those were specifically niche like games, so it's a little different.
I'm anxious to see the in person because we're going to be in the green screen room. We're going to have a whole setup. We're going to have a studio. I was looking at it yesterday. You showed it to me yesterday. It's going to be something. But some people who might have gotten used to being very good at trivia remotely will not have the remote advantages that they've had before, so they'll have to be here.
You're implying Cons is going to have a problem.
Well, yeah, you can't Google.
Cons has sat. You say all you want about Cons. I suspended Cons.
Never say anything about Cons.
And I said on Friday Night Pints yesterday, Cons had an argument with you that was rather damning that made me suspend him. I said, that's a tough look.
And you didn't even put that out.
Yeah, credit to you.
Yeah,
well, but you just told everybody about it.
It is. Yeah. But he has stood 20 feet away from the computer every time since. They still won. You have to say that.
Frank the Tank going to be able to have his posters of every professional sports team?
No. Though
at least the presidential coins.
I've seen people say that Frank's going to be worse. They're like, oh, Frank Frank does not shy up at shit like that.
Frank does not wither under the lights.
Frank sat in the middle of with Dave working, like not Dave like doing like a fun like video or something. Like he was doing, I think probably like pen shit, like doing on a call, and Frank was just outside his office banging pots and pans for stool streams. And so Frank does not shy up at all.
All right, so we got a lot going on. This weekend, NASCAR is happening in Talladega, the Geico 500. Talladega, the wildest, wackiest track, the biggest. It's huge. It's a gigantic, wonderful track where there's going to be a lot of action, a lot of wrecks, a lot of lead changes, a lot of chaos at Talladega, the Geico 500. The Barstool Sportsbook app is somewhere you go to bet on the Talladega race, the NASCAR races. It's going to be fantastic. 2 p.m. on Fox, Geico 500, NASCAR, Barstool Sportsbook app. I got some picks for you right here. You know why I love this guy? Because I think it was just yesterday we saw he was on a stream and he was wearing a Life's Too Short to Bet the Under shirt. That was Denny Hamlin. So Denny Hamlin is the favorite to win this race. He's plus 650. If he's going to be wearing a Life's Too Short to Bet the Under sweatshirt, then you damn well better bet. I'm betting on him.
Also, to back that up, favorites haven't fared well this year in NASCAR, and so it feels like they're kind of due. And so a boost on someone like Hamlin, that's a good play.
Denny Hamlin plus 650. This one came from Spider. Spider said Ryan Blaney is great on the super speedways plus 1,000. And then somebody grabbed me before I came in. Oh, it was the Colby Nolan wink of the day pick. He looked me dead in the eye, winked, and said Chase Elliott plus 1,100. So those are the 3 picks I'm giving for NASCAR this Sunday on Fox, 2 p.m.
Let's tack another one on.
Jeremy Clemens was wearing another piece of our merch, the now extinct Everyone Dies Eventually Anyway crew neck.
What about you?
I'm not even going to expand on that. I'm Eric Almirola. I bet him every race.
Why? That's your Tony Finau?
Because he's becoming my Tony Finau. I bet Eric Almirola every race. Quig's big NASCAR guy, Spider. We had him last year. He missed out by like a second, and I said, well, he's going to eventually win. He hasn't.
He's due.
But he is due.
Very due.
And he's due in the sense that he hasn't even really been that close since then. But he is like he's the custom lottos number pick for me where now I have to bet it every time.
I'm going to reverse the show today where we're going to talk about picks early, and we're going to talk about do we have graphics for I don't know whose picks got in. Did Mincy and Mush and Big Ev all get picks in?
Yeah, everyone got picks in.
We did when you were out, we did this and we roasted their picks.
Oh good.
I'm saying this like this was like a segment.
I would love for you to roast picks while my picks have been god awful lately.
I mean, so have mine. I'm saying that like we did this and it went viral or something.
Right.
Like you're like, oh, they're gonna do it.
Yeah,
like
people love it.
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of like making fun.
They're gonna roast.
Yeah.
Here we go. We got Jeff D'Lo. All right, so I will start off. I got the NASCAR picks. I'm going to make my official NASCAR pick as Denny Hamlin plus 650 to win the Geico 500 because you're Team Barstool and I'm Team U. I love Rays Jays under 7 tonight. It's Glasnow against Steven Matz. Rays Jays under 7. I love the low total there. That's pick number 1. Braves money line. I like this is my favorite pick of the night. Celtics plus 5 against the Nets. It came out at plus 7. It's moved to plus 5. It might have even moved since in the hour that I've been doing this. Celtics plus 5 against the Nets. That's my favorite pick of the night. And Hornets minus 1.5 against the Cavs. On the Barstool Sportsbook, I don't have it named yet. I don't have the odds yet. But be on the lookout. If you're in Pennsylvania, if you're in Illinois, if you're in Michigan, this is a very great bet today. We are on the 22nd anniversary of Fernando Tatis hitting 2 grand slams in 1 inning in Dodger Stadium. His son, Fernando Tatis Jr., plays there tonight. Fernando Tatis Jr. to hit a home run Dodger Stadium tonight. Odds are going to be great. It's going to be boosted. I would guess around plus 400. That's my guess. That's my bet today in the Barstool Sportsbook app. It's going to be the best bet on the book. Check it out. All right.
Not ballsy enough to make it a grand slam prop?
Boy, that would really be – wouldn't that be a story? That actually is great. What would you – you'd have to be –
Plus 425 you got, Brandon.
I got plus 425. It's up?
Mm-hmm.
See, that was a very good guess. Plus 425 on the Barstool Sportsbook app. TJ, please clip this if you can. It is Fernando Tatis Jr. to hit a home run in Dodger Stadium tonight on the anniversary of his dad hitting 2 grand slams in 1 inning. Okay, so who else's picks we got? You can just throw them up and I'll read them because I don't know whose picks are coming. And I assume Mush, maybe Mintz down there in Mississippi doing a lot of content. The yoga pose was interesting. Mintz is a very nice guy, so none of us will actually roast him, but the yoga pose was very interesting. Big Ev's picks, Cubs, Brewers over 9, Orioles money line plus 120, and Nets minus 4.5. So he's going against me with the Celtics. And Marty's picks, Red Sox money line tonight minus 139, and Heat money line. So he's not going with the Yankees today. The Yankees not play? Yankees play, right? Heat money line, and okay, now we moved on to Ben Mintz. Reds money line.
Look at these picks, this fucking idiot. I'm just kidding, man. You challenged me to say I wouldn't be mean about Ben Mintz.
Reds money line minus 108, Tigers money line minus 103, Warriors plus 2, and Nets minus 4.5. I love the Celtics against the Nets tonight. I love them, but everybody else is going with the Nets. That's fair. And Rico, A's minus 1.5 plus 115. A's team total over 4.5, and Rockies money line.
A's minus 1.5 have been burned into the Pick Central graphics for a year now.
Yes.
Rico just picks teams and just bets them all year long.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, he loves. Now, the
Baseball,
A's have been the hottest team in baseball.
College basketball, he bet Eastern Washington.
I mean, the A's bet beginning of last season was incredible. They covered the minus 1.5 on walk-off grand slams, I think, like twice. Or like a walk-off 3-run homer, walk-off grand slam, like in like the opening 2 weeks.
I don't know. I haven't paid attention the last couple of days, but they were up to a 10-game winning streak. Like they've been very, very high.
Now.
It's 11, so they are still on the winning streak. You
talked about it on the show, I bet. Though I don't know. You're always like doing stuff, so sometimes you have to be filled in. But were you on when the Rockets lost like 20 in a row or something this year?
Yeah.
That had to be the quietest 20-game losing streak in the history of basketball.
It really was. Yeah. The streak that stuck out to me this year was, of course, the Jazz doing the cover streak of like a month.
The Drake thing was kind of cool when when he showed up to the Raptors
Pelicans
game.
overs were like 18-2 or something like that.
All right, what else? We got
to build the Shazay parlay.
We're not doing that on the show. We'll do it afterwards, right? Oh, you want to do it on the show?
Oh, I would say let's just do it live. It's 0 for 2, and we put thought into it. So how about we just don't put?
It's for tomorrow.
Yeah, it's for tomorrow.
Well, let's do that at the end of the show.
Okay.
Let's do that at the end of the show.
The Shazay parlay is the prop that myself, Owen, Nick, and KB have, named after J.C. Shazay, though we have to know J.C. Shazay of NSYNC has absolutely zero association with the bet or the Barstool Sportsbook whatsoever, possibly even the state of Michigan and Illinois and Pennsylvania for now. It is an 8-leg parlay, 6 money line parlays, and then two totals.
The best thing about it is we only have to hit one a year to be profitable.
This also has nothing to do with gambling. I need to be very clear. This has nothing to do with gambling. However, if you're in an Oscar pool or something and you just want to like talk about your predictions for the Oscars, and for some reason your friends are like, oh, like maybe you want to go for an underdog, I'm going to just say what I would possibly just for the hell of it.
Fair enough. Oscars this Sunday?
This Sunday, the least anticipated Oscars of all time. There's a couple that like, oh, I'm surprised that my friends might be saying they're not the favorites. Minari, Best Picture. Kind of be a crazy one.
You've been talking Minari up for a couple of weeks.
Same with Chicago 7. The voting pool of the Oscar is very different. That's why Parasite won last year. It's not as close to a race as last year. Nomadland is likely to win, but Minari and Chicago 7 be kind of, if they won, I would not be shocked. Judas and the Black Messiah is like a UMBC over Virginia thing, but also not that insane because the voting pool is so new for the Academy. And also a little surprised that Frances McDormand and Viola Davis are, in some people's eyes, not as heavily favorites. So those were the
good picks for office pools and such.
Yeah, good picks for office pools.
Yeah, and just generally keeping up.
Otherwise,
with the
Oscars not like.
I gotta be. This is the least informed I've ever been about the Oscars.
The favorites are very firm favorites. Daniel Kaluuya is going to win actor. Chadwick Boseman is going to win a posthumous Best Supporting Actor for sure. Or flip that, Best Actor posthumously, and then supporting. Yeah, so things are mostly locked in.
So you think there's no drama there?
Chloe Zhao is going to win Best Director for sure. She's going to be the next female director to win Best Director. That'll be cool.
Okay, all right. Well, I don't know that I've. No. I'm not even gonna say I don't know. I've never watched the Oscars. I enjoy movies. I've just never ever watched the Oscars in my entire life. You know who you need to meet, and I wish life had gone differently, and maybe I had the foresight to actually just get him hired so he could be on my dozen team. You got to meet Wayne.
Oh, your logos guy.
No, he was my logos guy, but he's also the. Before I met you, the biggest movie guy. He can name every best picture, every best director, every best actor, every best actress from 1939 on.
That's crazy because I'm only like an own because my like firm knowledge is like 09 and on. Like, and I know old movies.
Yeah.
But the problem with me like watching so many and cramming them, like RA is RA is older than me, obviously, but RA like watches them at like a leisurely pace like a normal human does.
Yeah.
But since I've done the website and I've like really crammed in, so I watch things so back to back to back. I talked about a movie the other day. Somebody asked me about the title. It wasn't even the movie. I'm like, why did I think that? I watched them like back to back. We're just talking about a different movie.
I think there's a run in the 90s to the early 2000s. I can name the best picture winners, like Gladiator in 2000, American Beauty the next year, or maybe the year before. But I can't name a whole Shakespeare in Love, Chicago. Yeah, okay. I'm right in there.
You're good at it.
Crash or Traffic? Which one won?
Crash.
Crash won. Okay.
Traffic, good movie, though. I just got the Criterion for that movie.
I saw that. That's what made me think about it. Crash won in 2009. Yes? No?
No.
Earlier. That's what I was saying earlier.
2009 was Slumdog Millionaire.
People are correcting you that it's posthumously. It's not posthumously.
It's
posthumously. You've never seen that here at Barstool where Hank couldn't say the word?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, but that's why I'm like...
People are just correcting you that
okay.
You said it wrong because you said it right.
But that almost like you're explaining their joke.
I like using the chat, Jeff.
I do too. You know I do.
I like using the chat.
I don't go in the dozen chat on YouTube.
You can't see the joke, so how can the joke get to you if I don't explain it to you?
I think it's just assumed.
But you're right.
Hank had a funny mix. Actually, I don't think I can.
Well,
it wasn't inappropriate. It was just very funny.
All right, before we get to our and we got the graphics ready and everything. It's going to work this time. Remember last time the graphics didn't work?
We didn't get them in time.
Okay, so we will have the graphics. We're going to have our all-time. What are we calling this?
I don't even know if it's all time. We're drafting
our all.
Mine are not all time.
Our all movie athlete team.
Yeah,
we're just drafting movie athletes.
And Owen is gonna score each round.
Okay, now are we going to draft by how much we want the pick, or are we just going to say, all right, basketball is this round, baseball is this round, football is this round?
It's that because we sent our picks in, we had no overlap, so it doesn't matter. It's going to go how the graphic goes. It's like football, basketball, baseball, hockey, wild cards, and then 2 wild cards, and then a coach.
All right, so before we do that, let's talk about Rough and Rowdy tonight. Rough and Rowdy 14. It's in West Virginia. It's going to be crazy. You'll have Dan and Dave on the call. Dan will be doing the Dan, Dave, and Robbie Fox, excuse me. You'll also have Dan doing the national anthem. You'll have the Anus guys doing the Ring Girl contest. Shizat, the Rizat, the Knockout Artist is fighting. You got Dylan Postel, who used to be Hornswoggle on WWE in the main event. And it's going to be Electric. Frank the Tank is there. I don't know. Is Troops there? I don't know if he's there. No, he's not there. So Frank the Tank is there. He'll be riling up the crowd or whatever it is. It'll be an event. It's one of the most entertaining things that you can find to do on a Friday night. It's just an absolute spectacle. And the commentary, as always, with Dan, Dave, and Robbie Fox is always hilarious. 3 of them are great. I always think that's the thing we don't pump up. We pump up the fights. We pump up the ring girls. We pump up this. But the actual commentary, what Dan, Dave, and Robbie Fox add to the production is probably the most consistently entertaining thing about Rough and Rowdy. It's hilarious. And it is tonight, Rough and Rowdy 14. Buy rnr.com.
That one guy was mean to you, Hornswoggle.
He was a mean shit to me on the podcast.
I didn't like that. I hope he gets fucking rocked.
I am very excited to see him get knocked the fuck out. I'm going to do a video. I can't wait for him to get knocked out.
Like he was like razzing a little bit, and I was like, all right, let's go, okay. And then he
just kept going.
Yeah, I was like, nah, I hope this guy gets knocked out.
Yeah, he kept going, and he kept like talking down to me, and he kept telling me to do my job, and I was like, all right, listen, I'm giving you a little shine here.
Yeah. Does that make him a fighter? I was like, all right, relax, dude.
Yeah, I mean, he is the champion. He's our fighter. So.
Yeah, exactly. If he was like, if it was some guy that we found a minute beforehand, I could see like, but yeah, he's a champion.
Yeah, so we'll see. So Dylan Postel hopefully will get his ass knocked the fuck out tonight. I'm just gonna be honest about that.
Bitch.
Yeah.
There you go, Owen. Dynamite drop in. What movie's that from? Dynamite drop in, Monty.
Always, everything. Over.
No, come on.
I'm not. He's
not the best color man in the league for nothing, folks.
Don't do the fucking. Oh, that was Major League. That's tough. See, that's one of my favorite movies. I don't do quotes.
I thought so. You and I, as we get into this, as we get into what we need, a commenter says he doesn't need your shine. Well, why did he beg to be on my show? I'm Brandon Walker. I'm Brandon fucking Walker. Of course he needs my shine. Everybody needs my shine. before we get into the movies, the sports movies, and the athletes, we have very similar taste in sports movies.
We do.
In fact,
Very.
when I came here, before I got all the content I got, one of my ideas was going to be a sports movie podcast. I just want to talk about sports movies all the time because they're one of my favorite things. Then I got other content and better, and it wouldn't have been a long shelf life or something like that anyway. So luckily I didn't do it.
Is your 80s podcast with Kirk dropping anytime soon?
I forgot about that idea too. My problem is I want to do every single thing I can do.
Yeah.
And I don't have time to do it. Wrestling has told me that it's time to stop adding stuff. But yeah, I'd love to just take a summer day and go up to Massachusetts and knock out like 10 80s podcasts with Kirk and then just be done. But now that he's got the case, he probably doesn't have the time either. So where was I? So our sports movie tastes are very similar. Major League is my very favorite sports movie of all time. And it's very high for you?
Yeah.
Hoosiers is very high for me. Football, I think, is it's not underrepresented. It has a lot of movies. I don't think it has great movies like Bull Durham or Major League. I think baseball is the best.
Rankings.
Baseball is the best sport when it comes to movies, as far as the quality of movie we've gotten over the years.
So my top 5 best sports movies.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'd love to hear this.
It's Caddyshack, Moneyball, The Wrestler, Rocky, Major League, and then Raging Bull, Creed, Friday Night Lights, Rush, and then The Hustler. The Hustler, though, Hoosiers would be next. Like, I don't know how much you want to go with The Hustler.
Brandon looks like he's about to be sick. I
What?
agree with those top 2.
What's your disgust?
The takes I'm about to espouse are going to be controversial.
About to what?
Okay.
Espouse.
Very
They're
nice.
Hmm?
Very nice word.
Thank you very much. The takes I'm about to put forth are going to be controversial. But I feel like there are sports movies in general. There are certain movies that get into us that we overrate due to nostalgia. We overrate for a lot of reasons. Like people overrate The Sandlot. If you watch it back, it's just not that great of a movie. It's a bunch of skits and then a bad ending. The Sandlot.
Absolutely.
But nostalgia-wise, I will watch it all day, every day. I love it. I love The Sandlot. I love Remember the Titans as a movie. It's corny as shit. It's not a great piece of film. That brings me to the movie that is number 5 on your list. Caddyshack is hilarious. I love it. It's fantastic. It's not a good movie.
Oh, I see that.
You
have me on the other ones. You have me on the other ones. You don't have me on Caddyshack.
Caddyshack is just a bunch of unrelated skits. Like you never even really. Danny Noonan, you don't know anything about him really, and then there's the Irish broad walking around like not doing anything. It's.
I have no nostalgia.
By the way,
to it,
so
and
again,
it's just hilarious.
I want to
love it. It's
reiterate.
hilarious.
I'm a bad movie quote person.
Yeah.
Like if I'm watching the movie, I can recite the quote as. I don't do that. I'm not like I don't recite the movies I watch, but I could.
Yeah.
But right now, you could throw quotes. A movie I watched 20 minutes ago, it just because it all meshes. One of the quotes though, that I will always remember is. Looks good on you, though.
Yeah.
We talking about
buy a hat like this, you get a free bowl of soup.
That's one of 5 movie quotes. If you throw me, I know what that's from. Yeah.
No, everything Rodney Dangerfield says in that movie.
Another one is.
Don't tell me you're Jewish, Wang. You know they got restrictions.
Another one is Tess, and that's just Terry Benedict saying Tess to.
In Ocean's 11?
Julia Roberts at the end of the movie. That's all that. Yeah, it's a short quote.
Yeah, that's just one word. I don't even know if that counts as a quote.
And then he punches the elevator button like this. So all elevator buttons, I do this when I can.
I do love that your favorite movie of all time is Ocean's 11 because I think it's fantastic too.
But no, the Caddyshack one, you have me on the other ones, but Caddyshack's
So it was Caddyshack, Moneyball, Rocky. What was the and then Major League?
And you have a controversial take about Rocky that while I don't agree with it. Numerically, I have no problem with it.
My favorite Rocky movie, I believe the best Rocky movie in the entire franchise is Creed.
So
Rocky it's good, but it's very slow. Rocky 3 is kind of corny. Rocky 4 is the perfect version of corny and nostalgic. It's Rocky 4 is probably the best of the original, but to me, the best made movie in the Rocky series is Creed.
My favorite would be favorite and best are different. I talk about that all the time, but favorite is Creed. Creed is. Man, that bike scene in Philadelphia.
Yeah, when they're riding down. And he's doing that.
Holy shit!
Yeah, but going into the last round when he says and Rocky tells him he loves him and because you're a Creed and he stands up and the Rocky music hits. I mean, God, that's got goosebumps on me right now. I'm just I get to enjoy this, and I'm not trying to explain the jokes, but they're all giving me Caddyshack quotes. We got a pool and a pond. The pond would be good for you.
So you're laughing at all like they're sending you lots of funny lines from this fantastic movie.
Is this your wife? I bet you're really something before electricity.
it's just so fucking funny.
It is fun. It's terrific.
It's the second best comedy for me.
Behind what? Airplane?
Super bad. And
Okay.
then Airplanes, I believe, is right after that.
Airplane's my number one comedy.
I mean, but see, that for me though, I release my rankings all the time, like top 100 and like this over this. When we're talking top 100 like 5,000, we're splitting hairs. Like,
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Where's Hangover on your comedies?
Hangover's up there. The Hangover debate is one I'll have all day. Hangover is a good movie, and I know it's the other with the sequels. I know.
The brutal.
Sorry,
but
Glenny Balls somewhere. Glenny Balls fucking loves Hangover too.
Oh, he's not here today.
Oh
Nobody's
my
here today.
god, that guy.
I didn't know that
lives
was a
for
thing.
it. Yeah.
I never saw the sequels. I saw The Hangover. I never saw Hangover 2.
Hangover 2 was fine. It was good in theaters. Hangover 1, yes. You're
Was
not going
3
to
in
laugh as hard
Bangkok?
watching it. 3 was back in Vegas.
Which one was Bangkok? 2? Ugh.
Bangkok?
Yeah.
Let me handle this ad, then we're free to do
Cool.
our athletes. All right, so we got the Stable Duel app. And finally, horse racing has an answer to fantasy baseball, fantasy football. If you love those sports, you will love the Stable Duel app because it is a contest worth playing. They bring more action with a fantasy-style game where you can play against each other and others for big money payouts. Very similar to fantasy football. You just draft a team of 10 horses. You watch the points rack up and pile up, and you compete in that form and fashion. Also, daily games with big cash prizes. Easy to use, even if you're new to the sport. You don't have to be a horse racing junkie. You don't have to be Elio or Dave. You can just be me off the street, and you can get into the Stable Duel app. Download the Stable Duel app now. Start playing right out of the gate. That's the Stable Duel app, StableDuel app. Check it out. It is fantastic. All right. So,
I'm on. You know what my team name is on that?
what is it? I don't.
You know what it is.
What? The Stable Duel?
Jack Betcher.
All right.
Playing words. That was the best thing we did when you were gone. Was the Stable Duel ad reads because I said, "What do you think about horse racing?" And I didn't even need to tee him up. I say, think about the hats, or I said, like, you think about the jockeys, and then on cue, I was like, Blackjack Fletcher, flanked by 2 broads.
I forgot I should have thanked you on the air, but when I was gone for COVID, you hosted this 4 or 5 times. I appreciate it.
I mean, of course.
Yeah. So Owen, we're about to
People
give.
should seize the opportunity. No, I'm sorry to like rant, but like,
I know.
people should fucking leap at that shit.
I know.
Just get to be on air for to thousands of people for an hour.
I have. I know. Owen, so we are doing our athletes draft, and you're going to judge it. Are you going to be a harsh judge?
Fair. Am I judging on character, or
I
are
think
you guys like building
you're the
a
judge.
team
Yeah,
of
you
like,
can make
athletes?
your criteria is your criteria.
You're the
Okay.
judge. As Jeff lets a little bit of calf out for everybody to see at home. Shedding the FDR look a little bit. All right, here we go. You want me to go first? Or you want to go first? You're the guest. You take control of the segment, please.
No, the graphics
they're
are in
telling me-
order. So
They're telling me that I go first. Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess if Avery's running the graphics, there's my first pick. My first pick for football. You need somebody to man the middle. You need somebody to run from sideline to sideline. You got to set a physical tone. You have to have a physical presence in the middle of your defense, and you can't just go out there with anybody. I thought about Alvin Mack from the program, but he got hurt. He's got a torn ACL, so I don't know if he'll ever play again. But my girl right here, Becky the Icebox O'Shea for football is my number 1 pick. That is who I'm going with to run my team. I'm going to be tough-minded. I'm going to be physical. The only thing is she does get precociously attracted to the other team sometimes, and it gets in her head, and maybe she goes against her team, but she is able to grow out of that, and she does what she needs to do. Becky the Icebox O'Shea, my pick for football.
where do you stand on Little Giants?
I don't love it.
Yeah.
It's goofy, and it's I don't love it, but I do love the character of Becky the Icebox O'Shea.
Love Rick Moranis though.
And
Love
again,
that guy.
one of my takes is football. The best football movies you can't use characters because remember they're based on real. Like Friday Night Lights, I can't use Mike Winchell because that's a real guy, and I figured this was all character based. And remember the Titans is technically based on a true story.
See?
Okay, so you might have some. So I went all fictional. It was between Alvin Mack for my football and Becky the Icebox.
I didn't pick any real people from real stories. Like I don't have Mike Eruzione
Okay.
from real stories.
Okay, so we know his next pick is football, so don't put the graphic up yet. So let us, I guess, describe it before we pop the graphic.
Okay. My next one, you had a clear take for how you wanted to start your team. I wanted some swagger, wanted a little attitude. One of the better, like I think, fictional athletes in any movie. A movie I don't particularly love. It's fine.
Yeah.
Toss it up there.
There we go.
Throw it up there.
All right,
Willie
so
Beeman,
Steamin'
yeah.
Willie Beeman.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, I love Jamie Foxx, so there's
Yeah.
a little bias in that sense. But he has kind of like the vibe I'm looking for with this team, which you'll figure out real quick.
You're setting the tone.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what,
Are you going with flashy guys?
I'm trying to go a little Flash.
Okay.
Trying to go a little Flash. Again, not a movie I love, but again, I think it's the Jamie Foxx angle.
Look at this. They're filming a bear tweet out here. This is history in the making.
It's Doug's and Doug's and Dana.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Yuggs?
No, Doug's the other one.
Doug's, yeah.
Doug's. What sport is next, Avery? So I know what I can describe.
It is basketball.
Basketball is next. Okay, so I'll just tell you how we built these. We didn't really – Becky the Icebox isn't a classic number one pick. We decided to take football, basketball, baseball,
Right.
hockey, and then wild cards, and then a coach. So while we did football first, I wouldn't say she was my first pick.
Oh, you don't sound confident in your team. That's tough.
No, if I were going to –
I think I have a stud first.
No, the problem is my if I was going to go with my number one pick, it would have been the baseball guy that's coming up. But anyway, so we have got, all right, basketball, and this is one that's not going to get a lot. This is not going to win me any votes. This is not pandering at all. This is a movie that I don't know that a whole lot of people have seen. This starred Tupac. It starred, I can't remember his name, Dwayne something. And then, of course, Leon right there, who's Tommy Shepard. Above the Rim from 1995 is incredible, and Tommy Shepard is the greatest fictional basketball player of all time. This son of a bitch walked into the city championship at halftime wearing a thermal shirt and corduroys and proceeded to drop 47 points in the second half, and he saved a guy from getting shot. He took a bullet for somebody in the second half.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Tommy Shepard is the greatest fictional basketball player of all time. If you've never seen Above the Rim, you don't understand what I'm saying. I'm okay with that because this is my pick for me. This isn't a pandering pick. I'm not Carl. This is me putting out there what I believe. Yeah, I'll throw ricochet shots at anybody, and I love Carl. But he does pander. He tells you he panders. Anyway, so this is my pick, Tommy Shepard, Above the Rim. If you've seen it, you know. If you
Really
haven't seen
solid
it, you're
sports
confused.
Really
What?
solid sports movie.
Very
solid.
I was going, and I don't know if it's. I don't want to ruin your pick, but it was between him and Billy Hoyle from White Men Can't Jump. I ended up going with Tommy Shepard.
Didn't have him.
So here we go. Basketball from Jeff D. Lowe.
Okay, basketball. Like I said, no. There's a couple options. I could have gone with the joke, picked like LeBron from Trainwreck, right?
That would have sucked.
Like I could have done that.
Right.
No, that would have been funny.
Yeah.
You could have gone with Michael Jordan from
So
Space Jam.
I have swagger. I want size. I want people who don't really give a shit what people, they love talking shit no matter what. They love saying things back. They love chirping. That's why I went from the movie Thunderstruck. I went with Kevin Durant.
What? Okay. All right.
Like Mike
Yeah.
in Space Jam?
Uh-huh.
Combine those two movies and make them really shitty.
Okay.
That's
All right.
Thunderstruck.
I've never seen Thunderstruck. I'm aware of it. But you've just taken you got Jamie Foxx and Kevin Durant. You got like superstars.
I'm off to a hot start. I'll tell you what.
I got a girl and an actor from a movie nobody's ever seen. Okay, all right, fine.
Really
fine.
though, if you have not seen Above the Rim and you're watching, watch Above the Rim.
It is very, very good. But yeah, all right, okay. But here's where I start to make up
I was
ground.
going to say, I think you'll make up ground with this baseball category.
Here's where I start to make up ground. So baseball, I need a leader. I need somebody who can guide my young people. I
thought Icebox was your leader.
she's
You gave the same intro to
I'm
Icebox.
feeling good about my team.
she's my physicality. She's my tone setter. She will knock your dick in the dirt. She will hit you. This guy brings everybody around. He might get everybody a nice place setting. Candlesticks are always a good idea. You never know. He might take the head off a live chicken for you. He might call the umpire a cocksucker. He is absolutely, to me, the greatest baseball character ever written in fiction. Even better, my favorite baseball movie is Major League, but the best character ever written in fiction is Crash Davis, catcher for the Durham Bulls in Bull Durham, and that would have been my number one pick. Kevin Costner, 1998 Bull Durham. I think it is the number 2 baseball movie ever made behind Major League, and it probably has better characters.
Ooh, okay. I won't go with the character one, but it is very good. I just got this criterion too. I showed it the other day.
Yeah, and it was a good looking one. Yeah,
very easily Kevin Costner.
I love that movie. I tell you what, I love most of that movie. Now, the Annie Savoy thing, the romance part of it, it drags a little bit, but the baseball in Bull Durham is as good as baseball in any movie ever.
Solid.
Crash Davis is my pick. Baseball
Solid
for you,
pick.
sir.
Surprised you didn't go Major League. I went Major League. A lot of guys to pick from. Here's a quote that I'll never forget. This one you can throw at me and I'll know it right away. You may run like Hayes, but you hit like shit.
Mm-hmm.
Willie Mays Hayes is an incredible character. Just pinning the gloves up on the wall, all that shit. That's the best. That's the absolute best.
Yeah.
This movie, I could have picked a billion people from this movie. I don't want to spoil. I'll spoil my backup pick. Eddie Harris was my backup pick.
Okay, all right.
But I didn't think he had the star power. I think Eddie Harris is quietly the funniest character in that movie. Just all the shit all over his arm and his shoulder and stuff. Yeah.
I think Harry Doyle is the funniest character in that movie, but
I wasn't gonna draft the announcer.
Yeah, but I just if we're saying funniest character in that movie, I think I got to correct it. But this was our only overlap, right? Because I submitted 2 baseball picks and Willie Mays Hayes was the other
okay,
one.
so that was it. Yeah.
When I think the best baseball character in Major League, I think it's Willie Mays Hayes. I think Rick Vaughn has the thing, and then Jake Taylor has the story, but every time Wesley Snipes is on camera in that movie, it
what's the Hall of Fame quote exactly? One step closer to the
Hall. Yeah. You look real sharp. It's hard to steal second base with a shoe untied. I just love that. And Bob Uecker looks over and they're all doing this. That's a great pick. What's next? Hockey? Okay, so here's my weak spot. Not in the terms of this draft. In terms of, I just haven't watched many hockey movies. I've seen Miracle. I've seen Mighty Ducks. I've seen D2 Mighty Ducks. I've never seen Slapshot. So the three brothers, the Goons.
Really?
I've never seen Slapshot. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend.
Great. Top 15 sports movie.
Because I know people will all expect the Goons or the guys from Slapshot to be on there. I've never seen Mystery Alaska, but I have seen D2 The Mighty Ducks. And here's why I'm going to introduce this guy. The goofiest and stupidest thing ever done in a sports movie. The thing that made me roll my eyes the hardest in any sports movie ever was when this idiot Dwayne Robertson, the cowboy from Texas, ran on the ice and roped somebody from Iceland from behind and pulled him off Julie the Cat Gaffney. Well, that was her? No, or she was the goalie. It was somebody else. But anyway, Dwayne Robertson, the idiot who roped somebody, I think that's the craziest thing I ever saw in a sports movie, and that's why he's my hockey pick.
I will never watch D2 or D3 ever again the rest of my life.
Why?
Never watch them.
They're awful.
I just don't care about the Mighty Ducks 1, sure.
They were D2 especially. Mighty Ducks had a goofy edge to it, but it was still a good, at its heart, a sports movie. D2 was like all these caricatures that was like, I don't know what D2 was supposed to be. It ended up being this hot mess of wonderfulness. Like, I'll watch it and enjoy it, but it's so terrible.
If you tell me right, I will not argue with you about it. Like, if you love it, that is great. But I won't watch it again.
I'm just surprised, Brandon, you've never seen Youngblood?
I've never seen Youngblood, no.
Slapshot's shocking.
I'm sorry, I've just never seen it.
That's I went Slapshot with mine.
Okay, well, you don't have to holler at me.
I have an interesting reason why. Well, I mean, first of all,
that's a great shot of him.
Let's pull up the next one. I'm very biased to and it's not the best comp. I couldn't get a great picture late last night, but my grandfather looks like Paul Newman. He looks like Paul, and that age difference is like 10 years. My grandfather looks like Paul Newman.
They both just fade from red to white.
I
I did this way too late last night.
Like a
They
thermometer.
both have a gradient.
I texted my grandmother too late this morning because there's a couple where he really, when he's younger, he really looks like Paul Newman. But I'm always, rest in peace, Paul Newman. Always very
grandfather
biased to Paul
Your grandfather
Newman.
Still with us?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Bob.
You're
hanging out in Vero Beach, Florida right
Bob
now.
looks like he don't take no shit. I like
Bob's a nice guy. Good painter too.
So you got Paul Newman. You got Reggie Dunlop from Slapshot.
I'm very surprised you haven't seen Slapshot. There's a couple movies that you've said today where I'm like, I don't think I'll ever remember and can try to convince you. I think you should watch Slapshot.
Yeah, I've always known I should watch Slapshot. It's just I just haven't watched Slapshot. That's a hole in my movie going.
I know the one quote from Miracle really well.
Which one? Which one?
Not tonight.
Oh no, it's just saying, do you believe in miracles? You can go ahead. That was not a funny joke.
It's okay. I'll move on.
So it only worked if you would have said it right away.
So what's next on the graphic? The wild card?
Wild card.
Just a heads up, you guys are tied 2-2.
Okay.
I legitimately, you're gonna have to pull up my graphic because I entered 6, so I legitimately don't know which one I got. So I'll just have to introduce them after I see my graphic. So once I see my graphic, I'll know the wild card. Yeah, okay, all right. So it is. I just realized I went double Costner. I double Costner'd your ass.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I fucking hate this movie so
The movie
much.
Tin Cup is a good movie for 60% of it. And then it starts getting...
You know what? Yes.
It's a fine movie. It's a fine sports movie. It's not great. It doesn't reinvent the wheel. But, his interactions with David Sims and the back and forth, it's good. And then when it gets to the U.S. Open, the movie falls apart. It has the worst ending in the history of sports movies. But Roy McAvoy is a great golf character. I like Roy McAvoy. He's the only thing that keeps me coming back. Kevin Costner in sports movies is
the villain was his ego all along, folks.
Yeah.
Not this cool character that we set up.
David Sims, Don Johnson, who was a great golfer, by the way. That's my guy, Roy McAvoy. Why are you mad at me?
I just hate that fucking movie. I hate that movie.
Okay, all right. What's your wild card?
My first one is my backup football pick. Arguably
Wait, time. I thought we were doing Big Four sports for our wild cards.
I think this qualifies. I think you're going to allow this.
Okay, all right.
I think you'll allow this. He is, some say, a phenomenon. He is the garbage-picking, field-goal-kicking Philadelphia phenomenon. That's right, Tony Danza. A movie that you could argue this is the hardest movie to get your hands on in the world. I think Pardon My Take owns like 1 of 2 in the world.
Is that
Barney Gorman?
You never have Owen, have you heard of the garbage-picking, field-goal-kicking Philadelphia phenomenon?
I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
But my best friend's last name is Gorman.
Can you bring up Jeff's graphic again real quick?
I didn't know there was a Barney Gorman.
Probably the most, taking out Kevin Durant, the most random yet incredible selection of actors I've ever seen. Jamie Foxx, Wesley Snipes, Paul Newman, and Tony Danza.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. I love that. So what's left? Our coach?
No, another wild card.
We had 2 wild cards?
Yeah.
Okay, so I got another wild card.
Gotta fill the show.
All right.
We're doing great on time.
I got another wild card. I don't know who it is, so we will.
It's a good one. It's a very good one.
See who it is, and it's coming up right now. Oh, there you go. So
yeah, I mean,
Creed has jumped into my top 5 sports movies. I got it at number 2 sports movie of all time, and sometimes I think it's the number 1 sports movie. I just love
that tracking
Creed.
shot, the one-shot boxing match.
And you know what? You know why I love Creed as much as I do? It has no reason to be as good as it was. Like when I found out in 2013 or 14 they were continuing the Rocky series by focusing on Apollo Creed's son, I was like, no, that's stupid. It's a terrible idea. That's goofy. Don't do that. Don't ruin Rocky by introducing Creed. That is awful. And then I watched it, and I am literally gripping the sides of my seats during the whole movie. And it's good from the start. Creed, I love Creed. Adonis Creed is my boxer pick. That's a very solid pick. I'm very proud of that pick.
You and I though have very, very similar sports movies. Like the Caddyshack thing is maybe our most egregious difference.
I love Caddyshack.
That further drives home my point.
In fact, I think I had Ty Webb as one of my backup wild cards.
But that just drives my point home a little further. Like, so you and I see eye to eye on Creed. I love Creed. Creed is such a good movie.
Yeah.
Such a good movie.
I think people that say it's not a good movie are just saying it out of
Creed
deference.
Should have been nominated for an Oscar.
Out of deference to the Rocky movies and stuff, and just saying, oh, Creed can't possibly be as good as Rocky. If you put them side by side, Creed holds itself up to any Rocky movie.
Sylvester Stallone not winning Best Supporting Actor that year at the Oscars is one of the more like we got robbed of that moment, because he would have walked up on stage all those years later to the Rocky theme and accepted an Oscar. And Mark Rylance was fine in that like whatever Bridge of Spies movie, but it was such a bummer.
Stallone is great in This Is Us, by the way.
Also an awesome person.
He's in This Is Us.
Incredibly nice guy.
Sylvester Stallone is?
Just like
that
the
makes me feel
nicest
good.
guy. Takes pictures of everyone. Like won't leave a TV show set if he's a guest until he's taking a picture with everyone who wants one.
That makes me feel really good. All right, so who is your second wild card?
Second wild card, I kind of telegraphed it earlier. I believe it's Al Cervic. It's Caddyshack. Nope. It's Doug Reamer from Basketball. Basketball is a sports movie, and not just that, it's a good sports movie. It's a very good parody sports movie. It comes from the era of where parody movies were solid.
Yeah.
It's a little after Non-Other Team movie is just a straight up good comedy movie.
Yeah.
A great parody.
When did parody movies just fall apart?
After Scary Movie 2.
Scary Movie
2 is like right around like the line.
'Cause
Euro Trip's one of Owen's favorite movies. That's a parody movie in a sense.
One of my
Amazing.
top 5 favorite movies is Hot Shots.
Yeah.
It's a parody of Top Gun starring Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, Scary Movie after Scary Movie 2 is because even Scary Movie 3 was kind of funny, but they dropped off. Actually, you know what it is? They dropped off the rated R from Scary Movie 2 for Scary Movie 3, and they made it PG-13. Come on, the word "fuck" is funny.
Yeah,
you can only say it so many times in PG-13.
Yeah, after that drop off, there was like Epic Movie, which was
Epic
awful.
Movie.
Yeah.
It was when they started
Not
from the blank number of writers from Scary Movie campaign. That's when it happened.
Yeah.
All right, so
Basketball is
so now we're at coach,
so
right?
funny. Yeah.
We're at coach.
Oh shit, there's more.
Yeah, we have. We got to fill a show here, Owen. So we
a lot of notes.
I have my coach, who I believe I'm going to get the pick that I want. So this is my first dipping into my favorite sports movie ever. This is from Major League. I think he's the funniest coach ever shown on movies. I think he's gruff. He's got the best lines. He pisses on Roger Dorn's contract. He's just give them all a nice big shitburger to eat. Lou Brown, to me, is the quintessential movie manager. I mean, look at it. That is the casting in that movie was incredible. That's the best piece of casting they did. Eddie Harris as the Grizzled veteran was good. Dennis Haysbert as Pedro Serrano was good. Corbin Burnson, which was kind of a crazy pick at the time. He was on LA Law, right? That was crazy. That's the best piece of casting they did. James Gammons. He looks like a baseball manager.
He does. He sounds like one.
Everything he does, he looks like he looks like they just went into single A baseball somewhere in Iowa and just pulled a guy out, and that's him. That is my coach of my team.
Probably go get him now. What is it? Is that the line?
I think you can go get him now.
God,
yeah.
Sucks so much at movie quotes.
Yeah, he's come this far. Let's see if he can finish it. I love Lou Brown. I'm gonna get that bitch on the phone. You wanted to see the bitch? All right, go ahead.
I cheated.
What'd you cheat for?
I couldn't just pick one.
All right, Collins, go ahead.
I picked a Wait, what?
I said, all right, cons.
What is the answer to the question? Like, what?
No, you said you were a cheater, so I called you cons.
I don't know how I didn't get that.
Very simple.
How did I not get that joke? I went with the trio of Peter Brand, Billy Bean, and Art Howe from Moneyball.
Okay.
Oh no!
Yeah, you just got absolutely roasted,
the real
Brandon.
Peter Brand, Paul DePodesta.
Yeah.
I try not to say John Podesta, the guy who ran Hillary Clinton's campaign. He runs the Browns now. But this trio, it really should just be Bean and Brand because Art Howe kind of got, but it's Philip Seymour Hoffman. Rest
the only
in peace.
thing I don't like about Moneyball, it is a phenomenal sports movie, but I think that it misrepresents. I mean, Art Howe was on board with this movement back then.
Absolutely misrepresents it.
It's a way misrepresents Art Howe.
Absolutely
But
misrepresents
it's Philip Seymour Hoffman. He does it very well.
Jeff.
What's wrong with you?
Bad pick?
No.
What?
We'll see. Is that it? That's the 7th?
You want to toss up the backups real quick?
Oh, we had all the
just
backups?
because I'm sure you had some good picks.
So, yeah, I had Alvin Mack. Thank you for putting Mississippi State. That's not Alvin Mack right there. Billy Hoyle. Actually, my backups might be as good as my okay, I want to talk about a couple of these. James the Grim Reaper Roper. That's another movie I don't think enough people have seen. The Great White Hype is an incredible boxing movie from 1995. James the Grim Reaper Roper. Jamie Foxx is in that. Everybody's in that movie. Samuel L. Jackson and Billy Haywood, my manager. I was very strong at coach. Billy Hoyle. That's a good team right there.
Greg Goldberg from the Mighty Ducks. Shout out to him. He's recovered from a meth addiction.
He has.
I almost picked Ernest from Slam Dunk Ernest. My hockey backup was Batman from Batman and Robin. That's one of the best hockey scenes in any movie. Go check it out. There's Al Cervic, Adonis. Oh, we had up on Adonis Creed. Also, Ed Lauder, the coach from that OT movie, is fucking hilarious.
Why is Batman there?
You never seen the hockey scene in Batman and Robin?
No.
They had ice skates in their shoes.
And that guy's just the coach? All right, Owen, who won?
Yeah.
Jeff won 4-3. Willie Beeman won for football. Kevin Durant lost.
Damn it.
Tommy Shepard won, but Billy Hoyle would have been better. Baseball, Willie Mays Hayes won.
No.
Hockey,
No.
Slapshot won.
Okay.
You won with Adonis Creed.
I did.
You won with Lou Brown. That mustache is great. The Moneyball trio would have won if you did the Moneyball duo.
I should have brought an Art Howe.
Yeah, no.
You on board with this?
I'm fine. It's just
you lost
a
with
shameless way to kill
basketball.
an hour, right? We had to get through an hour.
From
was fun.
Caddyshack.
Let God help me get through another one. All right, the Yak is up next. I got Sass and Owen. Thank you, Jeff D. Lowe. It was great.
Hockey should have been Jack O'Callahan.